killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my people. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now. You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I got you. Let it vibe real quick. Look. The city eyes. It's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga. Cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation falls till you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Fierce taste sweet, told him make me an apple crisp. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java come on, man, dark sands get broke down. riding through Evanston with Mark Quad. Telling me how them crackers turn his childhood to a ghost town. Poker stop, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them mother niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see prophets under this banner. Make my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit Asian, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Yabashim Yashabrak Thumb to the brothers, Yabashim Shamal, Bashim Yashar to the sisters. The priest officer Parak holding down a Saturday Sabbath service for the ISUPK out of Arizona. If you're watching online, you can see at the bottom of the screen our class location, which is 12416 North 28th Drive, Phoenix, Arizona, 85029, and we are in suite number 4, right off of the corner of 28th Drive in Cactus. Got classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday, which is today, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right. And today, we're going to be in Micah, the 7th chapter. All right. For those of y'all that know and those of y'all that don't know, every Saturday when we hold our Sabbath service, it's a little different than the rest of our classes throughout the week, because our Sabbath service is based off of the first 5 books of the Bible, which tell us how to, specifically the book of Leviticus, right? Which the book of Leviticus and the book of Numbers, which tells us how to perform the Sabbath service. This is something, when you go into the book of Leviticus, it tells us to keep the Sabbath day every week, all right, every 7 days, all right. So today we'll be in Micah, the 7th chapter. The topic today that we're going to be going over, Micah is, just to understand who Micah is first. Micah was one of the prophets in the Bible, the so-called Old Testament. He was a contemporary, meaning he was alive at the same time and prophesied at the same time as Isaiah, as Amos, and as Hosea. All right. And this brother Micah, he prophesied, he was alive and prophesied during the time or the reign of Jotham, which was a righteous king, Ahaz, which was a wicked king, and then Hezekiah, which was one of the most righteous kings that have ever been in Israel. So he was around for a long time. A lot of people don't give Micah his credit. Everybody want to run to Isaiah and run to Jeremiah and Ezekiel, but some of these other prophets, especially Micah was alive at the time of Isaiah. He was prophesying some pretty important things. And today in Micah the 7th chapter, we'll talk about something that really relates to what's happening today, which is the fact that the righteous man and the righteous woman have perished out of the earth. It's extremely hard to find a good brother or a good sister, and we understand that. We understand that right now in America today, that it's hard to bring anybody into the truth because nobody wants to do the right thing. Everybody wants to do the wrong thing, right? Just as the time of Noah. In the time of Noah, it was hard to find a good man. So much so that the Most High said, I've only found Noah to be righteous and perfect in his generations. Everybody else went off, and that's why Noah and his family were the only ones that were saved. right? And we find ourselves here in America today going through the same thing, where it's hard to find good brothers and good sisters that are genuine, that have a dignity about themselves, right? And that are willing to actually serve the Most High rather than serve themselves. Micah also, just so y'all can understand, Micah is famous for that prophecy in Micah, the 5th chapter. He prophesied Christ. See, a lot of people don't give Micah and a lot of these other prophets they do respect. Micah prophesied the coming of Jesus Christ, right? So we got to really understand all of that. So today we'll read Micah the 7th chapter. We'll get some precepts and understand what he's talking about. Right, we'll see what he's talking about and really get an understanding of, where this prophecy goes and what do we do with this prophecy. Now, if we just say, well, the righteous man has perished out of the earth and there's no good people, does that mean we just roll over and die? Is that what we do? Or do we make righteous men out of terrible men? I know I used to be a piece of garbage. Everybody in here used to be a piece of garbage until we found this truth. And so instead of just rolling over and dying and saying, you know what, I'm going to huddle up in a fetal position and be upset about everything that's wrong with my people, I'm just going to fix my people. And that's part of what Micah, is prophesying about. We'll get all of that in just a second, but we'll start off with the prayers. I'm Micah. Please to stand. Which means to turn and face the east. We're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shomka, Yahweh, Alawadka, Sabbath, Watazaka, Aisha, Rataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal Yawam, Wasalatanawa, Kal Wadnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kal Wathinawa, Walaha, Tabayanawa, Manasai 1, Abal, Hawashanawa, Mayan, Raikaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Ha'ala, Watha Paraz, Imalumium. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Babakusha, Nathanawa Hakat, Hakat Larapah, Kal Maka'ala, Wakal Madawa, Hakat Latahar, Hamat Azariah, Hakat Lakwayam, Amathium, Hakat Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shun, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Wadaman. In the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Ahaharya, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Arataza, Al-Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashad, Shamar, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemah, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Ra, Yashamar, Abdapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'atka, Wabah, Waka, Ma'aitha, Ma'ai, Olam. All right, we're going to read Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth
shall
Yahshua
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
This time forth
From this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
We're going to read Psalms 83rd chapter in the English, like in Hebrew. Allahayo,
Allahayo.
Aldam Yalaka,
Aldam Yalaka.
Al Thakarash,
Al Thakarash.
Al Tashakwat,
Al Tashakwat.
Al
Al
Kayahana,
Kayahana.
Wayabdika,
Wayabdika.
Yahama Yawan,
Yahama
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash.
Alamaka,
Alamaka.
Yarayamwa,
Yarayamwa.
Sawada,
Sawada.
Wayatha,
Wayatha.
Yaitazawa,
Yaitazawa.
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Al Tashakwat.
Amarwa,
Amarwa.
Lakawa,
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam,
Wanakakidam.
Magauya,
Magauya.
Wala'a,
Wala'a.
Yazakar,
Yazakar.
Sham Yashala,
Sham Yashala.
Iwada,
Iwada.
Kaya,
Kaya.
Nawa Aitazawa,
Aitazawa.
Laba,
Laba.
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa.
Alyaka,
Alyaka.
Marya,
Marya.
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa.
Ahalya,
Ahalya.
Adawam,
Adawam.
Washmayalia,
Washmayalia.
Mawa Abba,
Mawa Abba.
Wagaria,
Wagaria.
Gabal,
Gabal.
Waima 1,
Waima 1.
Waimalak,
Waimalak.
Palasha,
Palasha.
I'm Yeshabya,
Yeshabya.
Tazawur,
Tazawur.
Gamashawur,
Gamashawur.
Nalawa,
Nalawa.
my mom,
Imam.
Ayawa,
Ayawa.
Sarawat,
Sarawat.
Abanyalawat,
Abanyalawat.
Salah,
Salah.
Aishalaham,
Aishalaham.
Kamadye,
Kamadye.
Kasaya,
Kasaya.
Sara'a,
Sara'a.
Kayabya,
Kayabya.
Walkhal,
Walkhal.
Fayash 1,
Kayash 1.
Nashamagwa,
Nashamagwa.
Bayan,
Bayan.
Da'ara,
Da'ara.
Ayawa,
Ayawa.
Daman,
Daman.
La'adama,
La'adama.
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa.
Nada,
Nada.
Yabmawa,
Yabmawa.
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira.
Kazawa,
Kaza'awa.
Kazabak,
Kazabak.
Katazal,
Katazal.
Wana'ai,
Wana'ai.
Call,
Call.
Asaya Kamwa,
Asaya Kamwa.
Ashar,
Ashar.
Amarwa,
Amarwa.
Mayor Rashad,
Mayor Rashad.
Lanawa,
Lanawa.
Ath,
Ath.
Na'awat,
Na'awat.
Allahaya,
Allahaya.
Allahaya,
Allahaya.
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa.
Galgala,
Galgala.
Kakwash,
Kakwash.
Panya Rakah,
Panya Rakah.
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash.
Dabaira,
Dabaira.
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira.
Kalahabat,
Kalahabat.
Dalahat,
Talahat.
Haryam,
Haryam.
Khan,
Khan.
Taradama,
Taradama.
Masa'iraka,
Masa'iraka.
Wabasa,
Wabasa.
Wapathka,
Wapathka.
Tabahalam,
Tabahalam.
Mala'a,
Mala'a.
Panyaham,
Panyaham.
Kala 1,
Kala 1.
Weba Kwashwa,
Weba Kwashwa.
Shamka,
Shamka.
Yahawa,
Yahawa.
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa.
Weba Ho,
Weba Ho.
Aya Ai,
Aya Ai.
Weka Parwa,
Weka
Waya Abadwa,
Waya Abadwa.
Waya da Aiwa,
Waya da Aiwa.
Kayata,
Kayata.
Shamka,
Shamka.
Yahawa,
Yahawa.
Labadka,
Labadka.
Aya 1,
Aya 1.
Akal,
Akal.
Alright, in the English, Psalms 83rd chapter. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
And be not still, O God.
For lo,
For lo,
thine enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Yasharallah
The name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee.
are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom.
and the Ishmaelites,
And the Ishmaelites.
of Moab,
Moab.
and the Hagarines,
And the Hagarines.
Gabal,
Gabal.
and Ammon,
And Ammon.
and Amalek,
And Amalek.
the Philistines,
Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Inhabitants of Tyre.
And so also is joined with them.
So also join with them.
They have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabir.
As to Jabir.
And the book of Kassan.
The book of Kassan.
Which perished that endure.
Perished that endure.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red.
Make their nobles like a red.
And like Ze'er.
And like Ze'er.
Yea.
Yea.
All their princes as
All
Zabah.
the princes of Sabbath.
And as Zamuna.
And as Zamuna.
Who said,
Who said,
let us take to ourselves
let's take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh
house of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the fire burneth the wood.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flame setteth the mountains on
Like
fire.
the flames of the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest.
Persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame.
That they may seek thy name.
Let me seek thy name.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Let them be confounded in trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame and perish.
Let me put to shame and perish.
That men may know that thou,
Men may know that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone,
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high over all the earth.
art the most high of all the earth.
Let me read the blessings. First in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Ma'ek Allah?
Why Ma'ek Allah?
Why Allah Hayah?
Why Allah Hayah?
Watazav Ya'ah?
Watazav Ya'ah?
Allah Wab Yahana?
Allah Wab Yahana?
Allah Wab Yah?
Allah Wab Yah?
Hasaranya?
Hasaranya?
Patazayanya?
Patazayanya?
Kaya Yahya?
Kaya Yahya?
Why Wathi?
Why Wathi?
Yahweh?
Yahweh?
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai?
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai?
Wa'alaman?
Wa'alaman?
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The general.
General.
The captain.
Captain.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers. And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Sorry, while you're shouting, you can turn and be seated. All right, once again, like I said, we'll be in Micah the 7th chapter. We're going to break this whole thing down. First, we'll read it in the Hebrew. Just the first 7 verses, right? So we'll read Micah chapter 7, verses 1 through 7. We'll read those in the Hebrew, and then we'll break it down, read it in English, of course, and get a good understanding. All right. All right. Beginning with Micah chapter 7 and verse 1. Allah Yalaya Kaya Hayathu Ka Paya Kwayatuza Ka Al-Latha Batazayar, it's like a Batazayar, Ayan, Ashakawar, Lakawar, Bakarath, Awatha, Napasha, verse 2, Abad, Kasayad, Mana, like Haratazar, Wayashar, Ba'adam, Ayan, Kala, just like Kalam, Ladamayam, Yarabwa, Ayash, Ath, Akayaha, Kayawa, Yatazawad, Ya, Karam, verse 3, Al, Harai, Kabayam, Lahayatu Yab, Slagit, Lahayatu Yab, Hashar, Slagit, Hashar, Shalah, Sha'al, Wa'asha Pat, Wahashapat, Basha, Slagit, Bashalam, Wahagadawa, Debar, Hawath, Napashwa, Hawa'ah, Wa'abath, Wa, verse 4, Tawabma, Tawabma, Fakadqua, Yashar, Amosakath, Yawam, Mataza Payan, Mataza Payak, Salaki, Fakwad Thaka, Ba'a, Atha, Thaya, and Bawa Katham, verse 5, Al, Tha'am Ya Nawa, Barai, Al, Thabatagwa, Ba'a Salaki, Ba'alawab, Mashakabath, Kayakwak, Shamar, Pathakya, Payak, verse 6, Kaya Ban, Salaki, Kaya Ban, I'm on the Bab, Abba, or Abba, Bath, Bama, Ba'ama.
What we at?
We had so we had Micah 7 in the middle of verse 6. We can start at the top of 6 if you want. Oh yeah, that one is straight up. It's
Just five, huh?
yeah, no, it's got
All of it.
yeah, but it's the everything, the writing and everything, the writing and everything is in Hebrew, in ancient. Yeah, but that should be the whole Tanakh. Is that the whole Tanakh, Razan? Or is it just the Torah?
It said just the Torah.
Okay, then it's just the first 5 years. Yeah, it won't be there. Yeah. All right, so I'll continue off from the middle of verse 6. Kala, Ba'amathan, Ayabya, Ayash, Anashya, Bayathwa, verse 7. Wa'anya, Bayahawa, Atazapah, Awaka Yala, Ba'aliyah, Yeshaya, Yesham, it's like Yeshamai Nawa, it's like Yeshamai Naya, Aliyah. All right, that was the first 7 verses. Anybody want to follow along? It is an app. If you got, I don't know what Apple got going on, but it is an app for the Tanakh on Android. It's called Tanakh, Tanakh, and it'll look like it's got a blue background and then a scroll. If you go into your app store, if you got an Android, you should be able to look at it. Look up Tanakh, Tanakh, a blue background and a scroll. All right, and it should have some Hebrew letters on it too. When you go into that, you'll have all of the books of the Bible, or all of the books of the so-called Old Testament, and you can read along with me. It is in the Assyrian Hebrew, or the so-called modern Hebrew. But if you want to follow along, watch Razan's classes on every Friday, and he's going to break down, teach you how to read the Assyrian, and then you can get your practice in every Saturday, because we read this Hebrew every Saturday. All right. So now, since we read those first 7 verses, we're going to read them in the English. So we're going to be in Micah chapter 7. We can go ahead and start at verse 1. Now remember, I'm gonna just a quick recap. We have to understand who Micah is. He was a contemporary to Isaiah, a contemporary to Hosea, a contemporary to Amos. Right? He was around when a lot of the major prophets was around. Right? And he prophesied through wicked kings and righteous kings. He even prophesied through the king Hezekiah, which is in my eyes and in the Most High's eyes one of the most righteous kings to ever exist is Hezekiah. You understand? So this man was around. This is a historical figure and a prophet that we should pay attention to. All right, Micah 7:1.
Come, the book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 1 in the English. Woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the great gleanings of the vintage.
Mm-hmm.
There is no cluster to eat. My soul desired the first ripe fruit.
So who do we attribute? Who does theology attribute the weeping prophet to? Who do we know as the weeping prophet according to theology? Y'all gotta know this. Come on, Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah. Why? Because he was always crying and complaining. Nothing wrong with that. He even wrote the book of Lamentations. What does it mean to lament? It means to be sorrowful, to cry, to be sad about something. We attribute Jeremiah, or theology attributes Jeremiah as the weeping prophet. But here we go, looking at what Micah is saying. Micah is jammed up too. Micah's like, damn, my life is hell because I can't live the way that I feel like is a good life because my people are destroyed. That's like a brother. Think about a brother that could have everything he wants, but no matter what you give him, there's nothing that can satisfy him more than the success of his people. So if all of his people are destroyed, it don't matter if you give him $1 million house and the baddest broad and all of the money and all of the nicest cars, it don't matter because my people are destroyed. Well, that's what Micah felt. He didn't give a damn about none of the material stuff, right? And so he's saying, woe is me. We find that in Lamentations, the book of Jeremiah, all of that. That's why I say theology attributes the weeping prophet to be Jeremiah, but all of the prophets sighed and cried for the children of Israel. We find that in the book of Ezekiel, right? Set a mark upon them that sigh and cry, right, for the children of Israel and their destitution. We see that in the Bible. So I only bring that up to just show you that this is the spirit of the prophets. You got to feel this way about your people. He's saying, woe is me, for I am as when they have gathered the summer fruits, as the great gleanings of the vintage. There is no cluster to eat. My soul desired the first ripe fruit. Why is he saying that? Give verse 2.
Okay, verse 2. The good man is perished out of the earth.
The good man is perished out of the earth. That's why his soul is yearning. There's a hole in his heart, which is what people in the world use to describe I'm lacking something, right? You can have, that's why they say money don't buy happiness, because you can have all of the money in the world, all of the riches, but if there's something in your life, there's a lot of things in your life that money can't buy, right? Just like the scripture saying, Deuteronomy the 28th chapter and the 68th verse. Our people are going to go into captivity, and what? No man shall buy you, meaning no man's going to be able to redeem you out of this captivity. And the brothers that look upon that with sorrow, like this brother, those are the brothers that in the book of Ezekiel said, those are the ones that are going to be marked righteously, right? He's saying the good man is perished out of the earth, and he's upset about that. Keep going.
Go. If there is none upright among men, they all lie in wait for blood. They hunt every man his brother with a net.
Who is this describing? I'm gonna come to you in just a second. Listen, who is this describing? This is blacks and Hispanics today, right now. There is no good man upon the face of this earth, and there is none upright among men. They all lie in wait for blood, and they hunt every man his brother with a net. Y'all, now listen. A lot of black people don't want to talk about black on black crime. We talk about it. We blame our oppressor for a lot of things. And I blame my oppressor for black on black crime. I blame my oppressor for the crimes that's going down in Mexico right now with the cartel. Them brothers is killing each other. In Brazil, them brothers is killing each other. But this is the same thing Micah was prophesying about. He's talking about it right now. Sluggy, so you got something?
No, go ahead.
And that's what we got to understand. Micah he's saying something that we've always dealt with. You know, Micah is 400, 500 BC. This is thousands of years ago we talking about. You got to think about this. It's a spirit on the children of Israel. It's a spirit on the children of Israel. That's why we act this way. But remember, we talked about this. What was it? When did we talk about? I think on Thursday we had a class about, look, enduring in the truth, right? A lot of times we end up in these situations because we're not willing to endure. And what do? We go back on the commandments. We stop loving each other, which is one of the major laws. That's the law, the so-called law of Christ, right? Keep reading.
Done. Verse 3. That they may do evil with both hands, earnestly.
That they may do evil with both hands. Now, hold for me, Genesis the 6th chapter. We have to understand something. If y'all know the Bible, y'all know where I'm going with this. Genesis the 6th chapter. We're going to talk about Noah, right? Micah is thousands of years after Noah. He's prophesying thousands of years after Noah, right? And we're gonna read about Noah. We're gonna read a similar thing. See, when you finally understand this Bible, you start to realize that there's a pattern. There's a pattern. The chosen people of God behave so much more poorly than we were expected of the Most High. Like the Most High, He has an expectation of us. That's why He's given us laws, statutes, and commandments. I always say this, that the Most High is a Father, right? And He gives us instructions. He tells us, hey, take the trash out every other day, right? Every 2 days, you take the trash out, or as it's full. You got to do that. That's an instruction that your Father give you. We're the type of children that say, okay, Pops, I'll make sure I do that. And then we don't take the trash out. And then your father, as a good father, he'll remind you. He ain't just going to pop you upside the head because you ain't take the trash out the first time. He'll be like, yeah, I just told you to take the trash out. You didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? Oh, I forgot. Okay, no sweat. But that's not allowed in here. You can't forget. You got to listen. There's a law that I'm laying down law in this household, right? And he'll give you another chance, and he'll give you another chance because he's a merciful God, because that's what a merciful father does. But guess what? After a while, the chances run out. Now you're gonna get popped. Your pops is gonna pop. Hey, all right, I told you to bring the goddamn hit you right on top of the head real quick. You understand? I told you to bring the trash out. I've been telling you. I've been giving you chances. Well, that's the way the Most High did with us. The Most High told us multiple times, hey, look, if y'all choose life, you'll be straight. But if you go against these commandments, you're choosing death. He's done that time and time again. So now let's go back. We in the book of Micah, right? And we understand that this is in a time of the Assyrian captivity where we're being punished for our sins against the Most High. Well, let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning. So you got
I made like we deserve it because like it's crazy how like you know the Most High, like you're saying, the Most High was really merciful.
Yeah.
Like because you know like if someone that you love do this, you might not be able to withstand how the Lord is dealing with us. Like you'll probably forget about him. The person that you'll probably grew out of love for. But the Lord never did. He said he still was choose Israel.
Yeah.
He yet still choose Israel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's like, damn, I still choose them though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Although they whored on me, although they, did all these things on me. But we won't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you know like the Most High is more powerful than us. Man.
Right. More powerful and more merciful. It's like you got to think about it. Think about your son or your daughter disobeying you time and time and time again. After a while, you're going to give up. You're going to give up. But the Most High, he ain't gave up on us. Over thousands of years of us disobeying him. You understand? After a while, your daughter played a harlot. You're like, go on. You can go out and do that then. Go do that. You're not welcome in my house no more. But guess what? The Most High has an open, I don't want to use this, but I got to so I can understand it. He got an open door policy. Right? We can always come back home. And that's what the Most High is. He's always extended his hand. His door is unlocked. We can always come back home, but we just have to remember that when we come back home to the Most High, we have to follow by his rules. And that's what so many of us are not willing to do, which is why the good man is perished out of the earth, because nobody wants to follow the rules that the Most High has set in place. We say, hey, man, listen, the Most High is hey, everybody love when we say, hey, y'all the chosen people of God. We're supposed to be kings and priests on this earth. That's what the scriptures say. A nation of kings and priests, right? So that sounds good. Everybody loves that, right? But at the same time, once we tell them what it takes to become that, to become a priest, to become a king in this earth, you have to do something to do that, to attain that, to attain what the Most High has offered to you, extended to you, which includes you come back in that household. Hey, remember, trash out at this time. Remember, hey, you can't when you come in at the street light. When the street light come on, you got to come inside this house. You understand? That's not easy. You want to be out and play with your friends all goddamn night. That's what you want to do. But there's rules that you have to follow. So instead of following the rules, what most people will do? They'll say, well, I'd rather stay out on the street. Right? Let's read this in Genesis, the 6th chapter, real quick. Verse 5.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 5. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, in that every imagination of thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
And that the imagination, or every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continuously. This is talking about the time of Noah. This is thousands of years ago, right? And this is thousands of years before Micah. Y'all got to understand that, right? When the book of Micah says, or when Micah says, there is no good man, the good man is perished out of the earth, and there is none upright among men, it's the exact same thing that the Most High said in the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, what we just read. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, so that's what? The good man is perished out of the earth. There is no more good men, right? And that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually, right? It's the same thing. There is none upright among men. That's what this is talking. It's the same thing, but thousands of years apart, and we see the same thing now. History repeats itself, right? Keep going.
Verse 6. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
And it grieved him at his heart. The Most High said, damn, I wish I never made mankind, right? But then we see, if we keep reading, right? Now take me to Micah, the 1st chapter. I'm going to show y'all something. But just, if we kept reading in Genesis, the 6th chapter, we will find that there was one upright man. His name was Noah. And he was the one that was able to continue the seed line of the chosen people of God. Remember, Adam was the chosen man of God. Before Adam, it was hundreds, thousands, however many people that the Most High created in creation. And out of all of those people, the Most High chose Adam, right? That's why it says that he formed Adam of the dust of the ground, because out of all the other nations who were at a lower state, all the other people that were at a lower state, he formed Adam out of all of them to come up and rise up out of that dust, right? And so Adam was the chosen. And then out of his sons, we just talked about this, I think, last night at camp. Somebody, I can't remember who was speaking, but talked about the difference between Cain and Abel, right? And we realized that even though both of those children were children of Adam, Cain wasn't the chosen seed line. He was a piece of garbage. He was a terrible person. He was Esau. He's Esau's progenitor, spiritually. You understand? But who was the chosen seed coming down to Abel? But then Abel got murdered, right? Then you have down through Seth, and Seth down through Noah, and Noah down through Shem, Shem down through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So the Most High always had a chosen people out of all of the disgusting evil people on this earth, right? Adam was chosen out of all of the rest. You know, the Assyrians were in the Garden of Eden. We can read that in the book of Ezekiel. The Assyrians, the same people that took the children of Israel into captivity, they existed back at the time of Adam. But y'all don't know that. You got to understand that this whole book is spiritual, and it tells a story, and it gives you the instances of who's the chosen and who's not. Right now, we just read about Noah, who out of all the people that were on the face of the earth, he was the only one that was good. And that just goes to show you time and time again, that same example, that there's always a chosen of the Most High. There's always a group of people that the Most High knows has it in them to be the righteous people. Just like he chose us as Israel, he knows we got it in us to be righteous. That's why he keeps giving us time and time again, chance after chance after chance. We're willing to give the white, we forgive the white man for everything. We the first ones to tell each other, hey, y'all gotta stop talking about slavery. How many black brothers and sisters come up against us at camp saying, hey, why are y'all calling them the devil? They ain't do that. This cat is, you know, he's a 20-year-old mogul in Apple. You know, he's never owned a slave. Why are black people coming up and talking to us about that and telling us to forgive white people and to love white people? Because we are a forgiving people. We're a loving people, except when it comes to each other. The Lord knows that we got it in us to be righteous. But the problem is that we won't accept that. We want to go against the Most High's word. And Micah, the 1st chapter, go ahead.
Like this, I just want to speak on real how you know Esau just such a liar, you know, a deceiver. These same people that I've talked with before back in the past will tell you how much, you know, slavery's done away with, you know, slavery's gone. But then turn around and say, well, we live in a modern slavery now because, you know, they make us live on pennies on the dollar. So which one is it? Does say slavery never existed, or was it wrong, or is it just now that you have some oppression to you now? Now we can talk about how the so-called white man or the man is the oppressing and oppressing everybody. Right. That's all I want to throw that in when you brought that up to make me think of all those friends I talked with before who like to dismiss slavery, but then talk about how they're oppressed now.
Yeah, and that's what we got to understand. Like, our people are confused and don't really understand. They don't understand the concept. When we say it, it's like it don't make sense to them. But then, like you said, they'll say it themselves, like, oh yeah, it's a modern day slavery. Kanye West will say, hey, we the new slaves, right? And he'll even go on, remember when Captain Tazaryak interviewed Kanye West, he was like, yeah, them people are not the Jews, they Jewish. But at the same token, this cat is still, he doesn't understand what we talk about completely. He's still gonna love white people. He's still, how do I know? Somebody tell me how the hell I know that he still loves white people after agreeing with Captain Tazaryak. and understanding what we say about Revelation 2 and 9, Revelation 3 and 9, about how the them small hats, y'all know who I'm talking about, claim to be Jews, but they not. He agreed with us on that. But how do I know that Kanye West still doesn't understand what the hell we talking about? He went and got him another white woman. He got the gypsy, what's her name, Kim Kardashian. She divorced him. And after all the junk that he was talking with us, talking about, yeah, I agree with you, Captain Desariac, all of this, he went and got him another white woman. It's like, brother, you don't agree with us. You don't understand what we're talking about at all. You have to understand, like, but that's our nature as a people. We're what's called stiff-necked in the Bible, or what I like to call hard-headed. You understand? Same thing, right? Same goddamn thing. Point is, you have to understand. You got cats like Kanye West. Listen, Kanye West is the same as every other Black, Hispanic, and Native American. That's not the truth. He's the same. He's gonna be like, yeah, I like what y'all saying, but you know, something in his spirit is gonna cause him to go off. He's gonna do something that's outside of what the scriptures permit him to do, because they just have a natural disdain for following the orders of the Most High. But let's read Micah 1:1. Let's read that first.
Look at Micah chapter 1, verse 1. The word of the Lord that came to Micah, the Morishite, in the days of Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah, which he saw concerning Samaria and Jerusalem.
Right. Remember, I told you these are the kings that that he prophesied under their reign. Right. Keep going.
God. Verse 2. Hear all ye people, hearken, O earth, and all therein is, and let the Lord God be witness against you. The Lord from his holy temple.
Hey, this sounds like the beginning of a camp speaking, don't it? That's what it is. When these prophets was prophesying, they was at camp. You understand? These brothers was out speaking to the people. And this is Micah, that prophet that we've been talking about this entire time. He said, hear all you people, hearken, O earth, and all that therein is. And let the Most High God be witness against you, the Lord from his holy temple. Go ahead, verse 3.
Verse 3. For behold, the Lord cometh forth out of his place, and will come down and tread upon the high places of the earth.
What is that talking about? Read the next verse. Keep on.
Verse 4. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valleys shall be cleft.
And the valleys, so the mountains and the valleys represent what? If we know anything about this Bible, what are the mountains in the Bible? Most of the time, when we're talking about an analogy, what do these mountains represent? Governments, right? Governments and positions and high authority, right? Micah is prophesying. He's saying the Most High is going to come out of his place. Where is his place? Where is his place? In the fourth dimension, in the heavens above this earth, right? He's going to come. He's going to step off of his throne. And this is all figurative, of course. We understand that. He's going to step off of his throne. How? By sending Jesus Christ, by sending Yahweh Shai Mashiach and his angels to come and destroy these governments, to come and destroy these people that are in high places. Hey, your Mitch McConnell got to die, man. He got to be put to death. That cat that be on them, listen, I want to put it on this thing. I don't know if I get copyrighted. Mitch McConnell is the same cat. He the one that come out these press conferences, and he's going to stand in front of the people, answer questions, and then freeze up for like 20 seconds straight. You seen that? You see what I'm talking about, Mitch McConnell? Hey, for those of y'all that don't know, go look up Mitch McConnell on Google. Go look up Mitch McConnell freezes during interview or press conference or whatever, and y'all see what I'm talking about. Mitch McConnell saw a goddamn angel that day or something. I don't know what. He did it twice, right? Well, them same people that are making the laws right now, making sure that your Joe Biden, who started everything that he says he's against now, he started the whole initiative against black people back in the 90s, right? And he don't of course he don't call it that. You know, George Bush didn't call it that. None of these cats call it that. They call your Reagans and all of them, they call it the war on drugs, and they call it the war against crime, war against terrorism, all of that. You know, the war against terrorism, that affected black people more than it affected any terrorists. Y'all know that? Yeah. War against terrorism, I'm talking about, that affected the black people of Chicago more than it affected any Arab, right? Well, guess what? The Most High sees all of these people in these high places, and he says, I'm going to destroy them. right? And that's why Micah is prophesying this. He said the Lord is going to come out of his place, he's going to step off of his throne by sending Christ and his angels. And he's going to come down and tread upon the high places of the earth. Go ahead.
And that's why the Lord would say, going to the highways and byways.
Yeah.
You know, fake Israelites want to go into the, it's cool to go do a mission in the ghetto where we at, but at the same time, you got to destroy the top before, you know what I'm saying? So they can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to go to the highways and byways and bully them. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? Make them bow down. You know what I mean? And that's nothing would change.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing too. We got to make sure that we understand like the spirit behind these scriptures. And once again, the Most High, he's going to like, that's why we have to understand who the Most High is. He's our Father. He's the one that's going to imagine it like this, right? You are a child. That's what you are to the Most High. You're the children of Israel, right? You go to school every day and you get bullied every day by the same group of people every day. And you come home to your father and you say, Pops, I'm getting, these people are doing this to me. They're doing that to me. They tying my shoes in knots and they putting me in trash cans, which is what our oppressor's been doing to us spiritually for the past 400 years. After a while, your father's going to be like, he's going to tell you to fight back, but after a while, your father's going to be like, you know what? I'm going to have to handle this myself. You understand? A good father, he's going to listen. He's going to go to the school. The school not going to listen to him. So now he's going to have to do something different. He's going to wait till them kids. Now, this is just, I'm just using the analogy. You take it for what it is. The Most High going to go, like, listen, a good father, he's going to go up to the school. The school not going to listen to him. You're going to keep getting bullied because the school ain't going to do nothing, right? Well, he's going to wait outside for them kids to get picked up by their parents. And he's going to talk to their parents. If their parents don't want to listen, we got to do some parenting ourselves. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. That's what the Most High is going to do. He's going to make sure, like, listen, the other nations, they don't have a father. There's no God that governs them. So, no sweat. He's going to deal with them himself. You understand? I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? But keep reading.
Gone. And the mountains shall be molten under him, and the valley shall be cleft, as wax before the fire. Now the waters that are poured down a steep place.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. For the transgression of Jacob is all this, and for the sins of the house of Israel. What is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria?
Go ahead.
And what are the high places of Judah? Are they not Jerusalem?
What is he talking about when it says, what is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria? Who knows about Samaria? Do you know about Samaria?
Samaria was located with what is called the Northern Kingdom before it was taken over by Syrians, right?
So now why is Micah saying this, prophesying for the Most High? He's saying, for the transgression of Jacob is all this, and the sins of the house of Israel. What is the transgression of Jacob? Is it not Samaria? And what is the what are the high places of Judah? Are they not Jerusalem? What is he talking about?
I would say at this point in time, like North Kingdom was already taken up by the Syrians. And Samaria was their capital, right? And so their capital was sacked and destroyed, just as now that Judah done the same thing that the Southern Kingdom done the same thing that the North Kingdom done. Now Jerusalem is also getting sacked and destroyed.
Well, think about it. What happened to Jerusalem? Was it not overrun by idolatry?
Yeah.
What is this talking about? What is this talking about? This is talking about, I'll tell you. When it talks about what is the sins of what the transgression of Jacob is talking about the northern kingdom. What are the high places of Judah is talking about the southern kingdom. The northern and the southern kingdom all have the same sin, falling into idolatry because of the other nations, right? And that's why verse 6 is going to make so much more sense for us. Read verse 6.
Verse 6. Therefore I will make Samaria as an heap of the field, and as plantings of a vineyard. And I will pour down the stones thereof into the valley, and I will discover the foundations thereof.
See, one thing we got, before we read this next verse, which is going to give us everything we need to know, understand something. Every time that we've fallen into idolatry is because of what? Other nations. Think about one of the first times that we see idolatry after the Most High has dealt with Israel directly. Think about it. The Egyptians, right? Because when we came out of the land of Egypt, we was pleased with the Most High. We was like, damn, we got out of the house of bondage. But then we had a problem. We in the land of, what's it called? The wilderness, right? We're in the wilderness, right? Traveling for 40 years. And within that 40 years, even before we got past the first year or so, when the Most High dealt with Moses on that mount, on Mount Sinai, as soon as we had ran into the smallest amount of, what is the word that I'm looking for?
Obstacle.
Yeah, obstacle or whatever you want to call it, right? When Moses was dealing with the Most High on that mountain for those 40 days, within the midst of that 40 days, guess what happened? We got too impatient and we said, hey, I don't know what's going on with this Moses. That's why they said we want none of what's become of this Moses, right? They're like, we don't know who this cat is anymore. He must have brought us out here to kill us, right? So what did they do? They said, they talked to Aaron. They said, hey, make us an idol. What is the idol that they created? That golden calf. That golden calf is one of the idols that was known in Egypt. Why? Because the only reason we knew about that idol and understood that there were other so-called gods or figures that we could worship was because of the land that we was in. The same thing that we're reading right now. Remember, you talked about Samaria, right? Samaria and the Assyrian Empire, right?
Yeah.
What is that about? Why do we know anything about the Assyrian idols, right? Because these people have taught us this. Why do we know anything about Christmas? Why do we know anything about the New Year, right? And the god Janus. This all comes from Roman. America is Rome reincarnated, Greece reincarnated, all of the Roman gods, Grecian gods. We celebrate those every day. Monday is the moon god. Saturday is Saturnalia, or the god of Saturn, right? Sunday is the worship of the sun. And every month of the year is a worship of a god. And we all follow it. And all of the holidays therein, we follow too. Why? Because all of the captivities that we're under, they teach us how to worship other gods. So you go.
What's so heavy is people will still do this today. You know what I mean? As far as want to go back to the other gods that are no gods, you know what I'm saying, that have no power, no life, they will rather go back to that. I remember talking to, this one girl, and I was like, hey, what you gonna do when, you still gonna celebrate Christmas and Halloween when it's World War III and things, go to, to hell, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When everything is in turmoil or destroyed. She said, yeah, I'm gonna find a way. Black moms always find a way. I'm like,
yeah, so black mothers always find a way to transgress God, for sure.
Nukes coming down, and you still trying to celebrate Christmas and Halloween.
But the thing is, that ain't far-fetched. I understand it. Right now, like blacks and Hispanics right now are under attack, under our oppressor, and under all the other nations that are taking hold of it. I mean, you can't even go into a black neighborhood without it being overrun by Arab stores, Chinese stores, white stores. Black people don't own nothing in our own neighborhood. So we're already under attack. And guess what? You're going to spend all of your money at them white-owned stores. Listen, Halloween coming up. Guess what? You're going to give all your money to the executives at Walmart. Because you're going to go and you're going to buy all your Halloween decorations from them. Why? Because Halloween is designed to benefit them and not you. And they already prepping for Christmas. All of your Christmas designs, all of the money that you're going to spend on all of those gifts for them nasty children that are just evil toward you and evil toward everybody, you're going to spend all your money on them. And you're going to give it to the white man. You're going to give it to your oppressor. So, yeah, of course. Black women, black men, all of it. We just going to give up. We're going to find a way to make sure that we can support white business and further the white man's empire. It's just something that we've done naturally for however long, right? But the Most High, like Micah said, that the Most High is going to come down and he's going to stop all of that. It will be no more Walmart. It will be no more Costco. It will be no more Sam's Club. It will be no more your Walgreens. Any white-owned establishment that is making merchandise of blacks and Hispanics, all of it's going to go away. And on top of that, the white government is going to fall too. On top of that, all of the mountains and the establishments that the white man has set up to govern over black people is all going to fall. And that's what Micah is prophesying right now. And it's a beautiful thing in my sight. Keep going. Verse 6. It's like in verse 7.
Verse 7. And all the graven images thereof shall be beaten to pieces.
And all the graven images of listen, y'all gotta understand something. Halloween not going. What he was just talking about with that woman, that black woman that said, "I'm gonna find a way to celebrate Halloween, even when the nukes is coming down from World War III." She's a bold-faced lie. Now she thinks she's gonna be able to do that. She thinks that she's gonna be able to celebrate Halloween and celebrate Christmas and do whatever she wants for the kids. She thinks she's gonna be able to do that. When them nukes is coming down, that broad is gonna be underneath them nukes. She's gonna be set on, like the scriptures say, their tongues will melt away in their mouths. Their eyes will burn away in their head. She's gonna be that if she want to continue smoking. Same thing. Smoking Christianity. God damn, right? If she want to be the one that's gonna celebrate Halloween, that's what women are silly. I mean, god damn, who say so like who the hell says, yeah, the nukes are gonna come down, but I'm gonna still celebrate Halloween for the kids? What are you talking about, you stupid wench? What are you talking about? But that's the mindset of our people, and that's why God is telling us He's going to destroy all of our oppressors. So now all we got to listen to is just the Most High, and He's going to make us not stupid anymore. He's going to show us, damn, I really wanted to celebrate Halloween that bad, but guess what? I'm not going to do it because I see how serious I see the gravity of this situation now. You understand? When you're not in the thick of it, it's not a big deal. It's like, oh yeah, World War III. She probably was like, hey, World War III, whatever. But when the nukes is really coming down, and when this place is be turning into what's called the lake of fire in the Bible, she's not going to be able to think twice about celebrating Halloween. She's going to be trying to grab her kids up and get safety, and she better hope that she ran into one of these UPK brothers, because otherwise she won't find the safety, because she was so focused on preparing for Halloween all goddamn year. Right? You had something, Mark?
I was gonna say, like at my slavery right there's a sister on second shift I see when I go in for the third shift, we chop it up sometimes. Mm-hmm. But she's supposed to be a so-called Christian, and she also about how she loves and want to follow God. But last time I talked to her, she talking about how she trying to find a devil costume for Halloween. And I was like, wait, I thought you were supposed to be Christian. I thought you were supposed to worship the devil. Right. So it's just for play. It's nothing serious. God's not gonna mind I dress up as a devil. And I was like, all right, you got it.
better one too is like, it's the same sister I talked to. I told her this. I was like, so you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you honor like child molesters and rapists and killers. You know, because that's what all Halloween is. Michael Myers is a killer. You know, Freddy Krueger, he's a child molester. Right. It is a child molester, cannibal.
Yeah, hiding in the damn sewers of America looking for. I got candy down here, little nigga. Good night.
They child molesters and they dress up as child molesters, and that's why child molesters get off easy. Than a black man that got a piece of crap around.
Yeah, and y'all ain't. If I could, real quick, y'all on YouTube. This nigga just said Isaac's oldest son is the Sasquatch people. Y'all gotta stop smoking, guys. All that weed that y'all smoking. Somebody putting some weird hormones in that weed. This nigga just said that Isaac's oldest son is the Sasquatch people. Y'all know who Sasquatch is. Yeah. This nigga said that Isaac's oldest because I'm assuming because of the hairy part, right? Because the scriptures say that Esau came out hairy. Shut up. Get away from me with that, man. Get behind me, Satan. Yeah, that nigga said, you want me to believe in fairy tales. He said Isaac sold his son as the Sasquatch people. Hey, we told you who Esau is, nigga. How about you listen to us? Listen to you getting high. Anyway, but that's the point, right? We got to understand. And the Most High, He's going to come down and He's going to destroy all of these false ideologies. He's going to destroy all of that. Ain't nobody going to be thinking that Halloween is okay to celebrate. Halloween coming up quick. And most people that are doing it say they're doing it for the kids. Don't every year when it's so-called holiday season, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas and New Year's, right? That's when everybody say, when we go out and we speak at camp, we talk about them things. What do people say? Well, I just do it for the kid. I like what y'all saying. We're just talking about that. They love what we talking about. Oh, I'm the prince of the power. I'm a princess of the power. I'm God's beloved, chosen. Oh, but I can't celebrate Halloween. Well, I get what y'all saying, especially when we bring out the facts about Halloween and Christmas and all of those things. We can go back into the history and prove to you the origin of these things, But guess what? They're not gonna hear that. They're like, well, I like everything else y'all saying, but that I gotta do it for the kids. You know, that's what the book of Isaiah say. What? Who is our oppressor? Children are our oppressors. You understand? You gonna allow your child to run your life? God forbid. Not for me. That's not happening. But for y'all gonna do that. Y'all gonna say, hey, I'm gonna set up the Christmas tree, and my son and daughter, they've all gotten terrible grades all year, but Christmas time come around, I'm gonna buy them that brand new PS5, that brand new bike that they want. I'm gonna buy them everything that they want. Why? Because that's what our oppressor told us to do. Because I'm gonna indulge into this holiday that my oppressor said you can celebrate once out of the year. You got something up?
So I was gonna just add, one thing I noticed, anytime I talk to somebody or hear people say that, they'll never ask, okay, so I done that, what I got to celebrate now? What do you guys celebrate? They never ask that question. Their mind is so they're on the oppressor, what the oppressor celebrate, they never stop to think, all right, so I can't celebrate this, what can I celebrate? They'll never ask that question.
Yeah.
What do you guys celebrate? They'll never ask. Like they'll never ask. Okay, so I can't celebrate Christmas. What is that I'm supposed to celebrate?
Right.
Nobody ever asks that question. They always just like, man, I can't buy my son a $3,000 gift even though he had bad grades for Christmas.
Hey, but you know what's funny about that whole thing though, right? And that's part of why the Most High is going to destroy this place and all of the other governments that have oppressed us. Because why is it that our oppressor has to give you the right or the allotment to buy your children gifts? Like, why you gotta buy your child? Like that's a Roman custom to buy your children gifts on their birthday. Why I gotta be on their birthday? Why I gotta be on Christmas? Why I gotta be on any? Why can't you just say, hey, you know what, son? I've been thinking about you. I'm gonna buy this for you. Or you know what, son? You've been getting good grades. I'm gonna buy this for you. Why can't we just reward children with good grades?
Yeah.
With being, behaving. Why can't we do that? But your oppressor has to tell you, hey, wait till December 25th to give them these gifts. Wait till their birthday, the day that they was born, to get them these gifts. Listen, we're rebels in here. We're rebels against the American society. We're rebels against our oppressor. We don't celebrate those types of things. So I'm not going to give you a gift any day in December. You understand? You're not going to confuse the gift that I've given you with the American holiday. I'm not giving you a gift the day of your birthday, the day before, the day after. You're not going to think I'm giving you a birthday gift. I'm going to give you a gift when I feel like it, not when our oppressor says that we can give you a gift. And that's what this is talking about. This is talking about forgetting the ideologies of America and all your oppressors, they have told you when to celebrate what and when to do what. Well, the Most High is telling us he's going to destroy that. We'll only have one government. That's going to be the government of Christ. And that's going to be that governing authority, the 144,000, right? 12,000 brothers from every tribe. That's what that's going to be. And that'll be a righteous authority. You know, the scriptures say when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn. And that's why we mourn right now, because the Most High hasn't done this yet. This is not a prophecy that's come to pass already. This is something that has not happened yet, because the Most High hasn't stopped the wicked from being an authority, right? Keep going. Verse 8.
Jump to verse 8?
Yeah, jump up to verse 8.
Book of Micah, chapter 1, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I will wail and howl. I will go stripped and naked. I will make a wailing like the dragons, and mourning as the owls. For her wound is incurable.
Her wound is incurable. Keep going.
For it is come unto Judah. He is come unto the gate of my people.
Listen, man.
Even to Jerusalem.
Even to Jerusalem, right? Y'all got to understand something. The wound that America has put on blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is incurable. It's something that cannot be cured. Listen, what we can do, the most that we can do is we can go out and teach y'all. But one thing that we have to understand is that we need Christ to come back. Because the thing that's happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans is the utmost of evils, especially in America. You understand? We've gone through hell, came back, and went back to hell. That's how bad it is for us. And we have to understand that only the Most High is going to be able to save us out of this condition. You can bring me back to Micah, the 7th chapter. But understand that the Most High is going to bring us out of this condition, but we have to do something in order to bring that into fruition. Listen, the Most High is not just going to come back because it's a couple brothers that, are righteous. You have to understand something. The Most High is, we always talk about this, the Most High is waiting on us to provoke him to send Christ back. We got to provoke the Most High to send Christ back. That's why we do what we do. That's why we say we do this for the kingdom. We forward the kingdom by doing what we do, by coming to class, by teaching these brothers outside of this school, to try to bring brothers into the school, into righteousness. You understand? We have to do these things. Why? Because that's what the Most High required of us. And if Christ is going to come back, we have to provoke the Most High to send Christ back. Let me give verse 3, Micah 7:3.
I got to look at Micah chapter 7 and verse 3. That they may do evil with both hands earnestly.
Mm-hmm.
The prince asketh, and the judge asketh for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire.
Mm-hmm.
So they wrap it up.
Give me Proverbs the 16th chapter. Once again, we're talking about it now. You're going back into the context, right? We're talking about the fact that the good man is perished out of the earth, right? Well, the great man, he uttereth or speaketh his mischievous desire. So they wrap it up, right? They cover it up. Give me Proverbs 16 and 28. Let's understand what this is talking about.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 28. A froward man soweth strife.
Right.
So forward man soweth strife.
A froward man soweth strife. What is a froward man? An evil man. An evil man soweth strife. What does that mean? That's talking about somebody that makes evil happen or makes strife or contention happen. Right? Keep going.
And a whisperer separate chief friends.
A whisperer separated chief friends, the best of friends, right? How is this possible? Now, what am I talking about? What is this scripture talking about in relation to Micah the 7th chapter, right? And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire. What did we talk about earlier that is in direct relation with this?
Black on black crime.
Black on black crime. This brother is a man after my own heart. He's in the spirit, right? Black on black crime. Why do black people kill black people? Because our oppressor has uttereth their mischievous desire, and they soweth strife amongst chief friends. Black people love each other. We love everybody except each other right now. But in the beauty of our nature, we love each other. We love black people. You understand? That's in our nature. But our oppressor has separated the chiefest of friends, separated our brotherhood, right? And that's why black on black crime exists. Give me one example of how our oppressor has, designed black on black crime in America. Give me one example. Anybody? Drugs, right? But how? Tell me how. Because listen, I'm the only one that could put a pipe up to my mouth. I'm the only one that could say I want to smoke crack. So how is it that our oppressor made drugs to break up black homes and to put black people against other black people?
It's the war on drugs.
The war on drugs. Explain.
I said, so what they is like those brothers in the neighborhood that wanted money, who greedy.
Why did they want money though?
They want money because we don't have the resources in our neighborhood to have what the white man has. To do for us when we had it.
Why not?
It was destroyed by the white man.
Why? How?
He came and burnt it all down.
He burnt it all down, but let's I'm trying to get you. Let's walk it all the way down. Cause see, you could start at drugs, but you can't stay there, right? You gotta go ahead.
It's slavery.
Right.
You know, black on black crime and slavery is hand in hand. You know, just like how Moses saw and also police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Just how they saw the Egyptians beating a black man, and he stepped in, and also he saw him in the same hand. He saw a brother killing another brother, trying to kill another brother. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
All that hand in hand, slavery, oppression. You know what I mean?
Ecclesiastes 7:7. What?
Yeah,
oppression maketh the wise man mad. You got to understand that oppression is going to make you angry. It's mad. It is a twofold thing. Mad ain't just the anger. Mad make it crazy. Our brothers just got back from the Feast of Tabernacles in not New York, in the United Kingdom. Are you mad, bro? What is they saying? Are you angry? No, they saying, are you crazy? That's what they saying, because that's really the definition of that word. Now, oppression will make you go crazy. It'll make you kill you. Hey, I've been looking at these. I'm gonna get back to it in a second, but I've been looking at these like different docu-series, documentaries, whatever, where these women and some men, they'll just kill their whole family. And they tell you they don't know why they did it, and they come to find out after they've been interviewed and questioned so much, it's like, well, damn, it's because they've been oppressed. You understand? It'll make you go crazy. You have something?
No.
Okay, so now here's what I want to point out. I want to make this very clear. Yes, you was extremely right with drugs. Drugs is the war on drugs. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I do this. I got a class that I teach like once a year about our oppressor is at fault for everything wrong with black people. I teach that like once a year, but I'm gonna explain it right now with this. So you have the so-called war on drugs, right? Take me back. Why was there a war on drugs? What happened prior to the war on drugs?
War on drugs. That was before that. That was the whole civil rights movement.
No, you're not taking me where I want to go, right? So the war on drugs. Why was there drugs in black neighborhoods? Did we have the power to go to Costa Rica and pick up them drugs?
Right.
How did they get to our neighborhoods?
Through the government.
Right. The government dropped these drugs into our, the same, they did this with guns too, right? But let's just, I'll keep it on track with what we're talking about drugs, right? Because everything, you can go back to the root and find out that it's our oppressive fault. So they dropped drugs into our neighborhood and talked to certain brothers and said, hey, you can sell this for this. This can, it's gonna make you some good money. You can't do
the war that was going on, and wasn't black people against the war that they were having at the time.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, in order, because that's why they said they can't make it illegal to be black. So, put drugs in the neighborhood that way, we can get them out of here.
Right. But now, drugs is a way to do what? To make what? Money, right? Yeah. Why do black people need money? Remember, you don't listen. If you drop drugs into a white suburban neighborhood, they're gonna be like they might use them all, but they're not thinking about selling them. Why? They don't need money. But if you drop drugs into a destitute population of black people, guess what they're gonna do? Well, guess what they're gonna see? Opportunity. They're gonna see, hey, I can make money off of this. And so that's why they sold those drugs. And they had to. Why? Because where were they living?
The ghetto.
In the ghetto, in the so-called projects, right? Why were they in the projects? Why were they in the projects? Because they didn't have enough money. But that's not necessarily the case at that time. Why were they in redlining? There you go. Redlining. What is redlining? Redlining is when black people were denied loans to get into, to buy a house, just so anybody can understand. In order to buy a house today costs $200,000. Nobody just has most people don't have $200,000 they can just throw at a house. They got to get a loan. In order to get a loan, you have to be able to go to a bank that's willing to give you a loan for $200,000 to pay for that home. They'll say, hey, you pay us $1,500 a month for 36 months. For 30 years, right? And you'll be able to pay off this home. Here's your down payment. That's how you get a house, right? However, there was a time, and it's still something that it exists in certain parts of America today, but there's something that was called redlining. They would not allow black people that had enough money to put down, let's say the down payment on that home was $10,000. They had the $10,000, but they wouldn't give them the loan for that house because they didn't want black people in that neighborhood. They wanted it to be a white suburban neighborhood with white people only. So they denied black people who were fully able to spend money and get into those homes and buy and pay for those homes. They didn't allow them to come into those homes. They only allowed white people to do it. So then what happened? Black people strategically were placed into project buildings because that was the only places where they were able to afford rent and to really live, period, because nobody else would let them in. Nobody else would let them live into those beautiful houses that them white people could pass down for ages. White people could pass down them houses. They live in the house till they get old, and then they pass it down to their kids. And that's why you see white people, they have generational wealth because they can bank off of the investments that their parents made. Go ahead.
We also got to go back further, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Black Wall Street, they destroyed everything. just 20 years after so-called slavery was over, black people built their own economics and things like that. Once again, we had everything that we needed, even 20 years after slavery. So, we had schools, we had airplanes, we had hospitals, we had movie theaters, we had everything that we needed, right? They destroyed everything. And then, after that, what the people said? They said, I don't want to rebuild. Because even between even between the 20 years of them building it up and them having those structures before it was totally destroyed, the white people used to come in and destroy certain buildings and things like that, and then they used to build it back up in 3 days. Now the whole thing is destroyed. They just went in and just destroyed everything, and then now the whole spirit is, I don't want to do nothing no more because it's just going to get destroyed.
Yeah, and you got to look at that. You got to look at that spirit too, because it also ties into redlining, right? Because it's the spirit of it. It causes you to give up because it's like no matter what I do, I can't succeed. What he was just talking about with Black Wall Street, it's multiple cases of that. You understand? Rosewood and Seneca Village and all of that. Black people have the ability to make for themselves what white people have made for themselves, but us, we can do it better. And we did that. Black Wall Street at a time in the 1920s when white America was going through the Great Depression, we was thriving. You understand? But what happened? They got jealous of the fact that we was thriving and they wasn't, and that was the first bomb attack on America. I would damn near call it a civil attack, but we different people regardless. They came and they dropped, American jets dropped bombs on black neighborhoods. Specifically, what I'm talking about is Black Wall Street. We had money. We was doing, but we knew how to manage money. The black dollar didn't leave. One single solitude black dollar didn't leave Black Wall Street for 30 days. Right now, guess what? Y'all gonna hate this. The black dollar leaves within 1 minute in black communities. Why? Because when you go to spend money on groceries, you're not going to a black grocery store. As soon as you get your money, you got to do what? Go get groceries. As soon as you get your money, you got to do what? Go get food. As soon as you get your money, you got to do what? Pay for bills, your housing expenses. You're not paying black people for your housing expenses. You're paying a white man that's giving you that house, putting you on Section 8, putting you in these positions. Listen, ain't nothing wrong. I live by this and I die by this. Ain't nothing wrong with a sister getting them nails done. I love when a sister get the nails done, she get her hair done, whatever. All of that. But guess what? And nowadays, in order to do that, you're gonna have to go to them Asians. Because there's very few black beauty salons in your black neighborhoods. And you're gonna go and you're gonna spend $70 on your nails. You're gonna spend $120 on your hair. I'm talking cheap. You understand? Why? Because that's the way it's been set up. And so we have to understand, once again, that's a 2-hour class that we're really talking about, 2 to 3 hour class that we're really talking about, where everything is our oppressor's fault. Every detriment to the black community, black Hispanic community, has been because of our oppressor. You understand? So let's keep reading. Where we at? Give me verse 29. Oh, and if I could, read verse 28. I got to do this real quick before we get out of here. Go ahead. Verse 28. Yeah. 16 and 28. Yeah, I'm sorry, because we're talking about it, so we got to get it out the way. And Micah, we still on topic because Micah the 7th chapter is talking about the Most High paying recompense for what our enemy has done to us, our adversary has done to us. This is part of what they've done to us. Read that again.
Look out, Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer separated chief friends.
And they separated chief friends. Who's also supposed to be your chief friend, black man?
The same man.
That's true, but what I'm talking about is something different.
Oh, your rib.
Your wife, right?
Your sister.
So your wife is supposed to be, when you get married, the scriptures, being married is something that's, being married is something that's holy, above than everything else. it's extremely close to just being in the truth, being married. Because what does the scripture say about being married? You're gonna leave your father and your mother. You're gonna cleave to your wife, and that's a bond that's extremely sacred. Well, guess what? A whisperer will separate chief friends. What did the white man do? And I'm gonna say that. I gotta say it. Or the man, whatever the hell y'all want to say. What did he do to separate chief friends, meaning separate you from your wife, or a black man from a black woman? What did he do to change the family? What's the word that I'm looking for? Like the family dynamic with black men and black women.
I'll say the two things. One is government assistance.
Yes, there you go. Go ahead.
And the other has to be child support.
Yeah. You said something, sir?
And what's the word for women that?
Oh, feminism?
Yeah.
All of that. Listen, so what they just said was feminism, government assistance, and child support. Those things have separated chief friends, separated you. Listen, the bond between a husband and a wife is something that should never be broken. We understand that. A man should never leave his woman, and a woman should never leave his man. Leave her man, right? But somehow our oppressor has caused black men to separate from black women and black women to hate black men. And it's just happened. But how? Through feminism, through government assistance. One of the earliest, there's a movie. I always have to ask my rib this movie. But there's a movie, and this is just, it's really something that's happened. It happened in real life, but the movie depicts it so perfectly. But basically what it is for a woman to be on welfare, she can't have a man in the household. A woman cannot have a man in the household if she's on welfare. And what a lot of times, the way that they pushed it is what? Your man doing something you don't like, just get on welfare. Because he's the one that's going and making sure that he's paying the bills. He's going to work, doing everything for the household. Well, guess what? You can just get on welfare and you be straight. And the welfare will pay you, back then, I think it was like $150 a week, which was crazy. You're talking $600 a month back then in the 70s was ridiculous. And they was doing that for what? All you got to do is get the man out your house. Now, you want welfare, that's fine and dandy, but you can't have a man in the house while you're getting welfare. So the movie, I can't remember what it's called, but she had a boyfriend or a husband, whatever you want to call it. We would call it a husband because they was having sex for sure. And she had to get rid of that man. Every time the agent came for the welfare, that man was taking care of her, whatever, but she had to hide that man and hide the good stuff that she had. She had like nice appliances and certain stuff. She had to put them away in the cupboard. She had to pretend to be what? Broke and without a man in order to receive that government assistance. That's the type of warfare we play with these cats. That's how they made you. Listen, you want help from us? Be broke, have no man. That was it. That's the way they played us.
And not only that, they ain't that stupid. They know niggas is living there. So the psychology of it's like, now the woman think that I don't need you because they take care of me now. You ain't even doing nothing. This nigga just sleeping on the couch, speaks thing, and he ain't got no job because he can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'd rather get rid of you. I gotta listen to this girl that come in, this white lady that come in your house, go through your drawers.
And they was doing that.
These men drawers here.
Right.
If you ain't living here. It's just crazy, man, when you think about it.
Yeah,
the whole psychological thing about it.
And that's something that, once again, that started in the 60s, 70s, really the 70s. After the civil rights movement, y'all got to understand how this thing really happened, okay? Because after the civil rights movement, we pushed for something that white people never wanted. White people don't want to be integrated with black people. But we pushed to be integrated with white people. Why? Not because we cared about white people that much, but because we wanted their benefits. Well, guess what? As soon as we pushed and succeeded in integrating with white people, 70s come around. Boom, welfare. Boom, child support. Boom, redlining, all of that. This is something that has been strategic. Like, they're like, okay, y'all want to be a part of us? No sweat. I'm going to show y'all what it's like to be around us. They show you who the devil is, and you don't accept it. They show you who your enemy is, and you don't accept it. Or you just honestly, you don't understand. And a lot of people just don't understand it. Welfare seems like you. Listen, oh my God. Listen, I got y'all got to understand something about these women. And this is okay. You women can just accept it and understand it. But women are silly just like children. Eve was silly. If y'all don't agree with that, then maybe y'all should reread the Bible. You understand? Because Eve was absolutely silly. She was simple. Okay? Why? How do we know that? Because she was deceived by some nigga that, I mean, I don't call him a nigga, but some white man that just, you know, he used her desire for authority and power against her, and it worked like that. He didn't have to push too hard. He just had to, hey, you want to be powerful, right? Hey, he lied to you. He lying for real? Okay. That's how simple and stupid she was. Well, guess what? You sisters today are still that simple, and it's okay. All that means is that you need to be under a man. You ain't got to get married to be under a man. Hey, it's like Captain Zaryak says this all the time. He's got a lot of sisters underneath him that are not married, and he's not married to them, but he's their camp leader. You just got to be under some sort of authority because you're just simple. And without the proper guidance, you will be deceived and beguiled, just like Eve. Well, guess what? These sisters in the 70s that was going through that, with that welfare phase and that child support phase, they was deceived. They made it, listen, they made it seem like, hey, you don't need that man. Listen, matter of fact, you can kick him out of your house, get child support from him. He's going to have to pay you every dime that he got. And we're going to pay you as the government. We're going to pay you $150 a week, which was a lot back then. So these sisters was living lavish based off of kick the man out the house. But guess what? They thought money was the solution to their problems. Guess what? The children grew up. The children that were raised in the 70s are your gangbangers in the 80s and the 90s. The ones that was murdering brothers and sisters. The ones that was raping brothers and sisters. Without fathers. Why? Because of welfare. Because of that government assistance. They was the ones that was going to get, listen, you women thought that you could raise that black boy. You thought you could raise that sister. But guess what? You didn't raise that sister or that brother. The streets raised them. That girl, she grew up to be, she went to Freaknik. You dumb sisters that wanted that child support and wanted that welfare, guess what? You raised the daughter that went to Freaknik. You raised the son that joined the gangster disciples. You raised them. Guess why? Because you allowed the government, you allowed your oppressor to kick your husband out of your household. You allowed that. Why? Because you're simple. And you made the white man your daddy when really your husband should have been your daddy. Your husband should have been the one to tell you, hey, I'm going to tell you how to raise these kids. When I'm not home, you tell her, don't allow that. You're going to let your daughter out the house looking like a goddamn freak. You're going to let your son out of the house, and he's going to come back whenever he feels like it. But guess what? I'm going to tell that boy, hey, you got chores to do around this house. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. You're going to be occupied with things around this house so that way you don't get to go around. Them kids up the corner, nah, you don't get. Your mama don't see it. Your mama don't see the fact that them kids up the corner is selling dope. Let them have fun. Them kids up the street is selling dope. Your mama don't see it. I promise you, you women do not see that them brothers is selling dope. I know because my father knew who I was around. And he had to stop me. You understand? My mother didn't know what the hell was going on with me. She's like, oh yeah, he's supposed to hang out with his friends. My friends were dope dealers. She didn't know I was getting shot at. She didn't know pistols was getting pulled on me. My father did. Go ahead.
Because, you know, we like media, we like superstars, we like TV.
Right.
You know, 50 Cent said, Tony Yayo, which is his, you know, partner in crime and whatnot, they grew up together. Tony Yayo was on the run.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But listen, 50 Cent grandma didn't know that.
Grandma didn't know nothing.
She didn't know that 50 Cent was a gangster and selling drugs and things like that. You know, but of course the grandpa did, and the grandpa
he wasn't going for that.
Tony Yayo came over and he was on the run, sleeping on the couch, right?
Yeah.
And the dad just came in and said something like, yeah, you know, I gotta pretty much, you know, speaking in cold, like, yeah, I know what's going on, get it together type of vibe. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew what was going on, but the mom like don't know nothing.
And it's honestly it's not her place to know. She's silly. Hey, who's seen the Notorious B.I.G. movie? Y'all seen that, right?
Yeah.
These ain't no goddamn mashed potatoes. Remember, his brother Notorious B.I.G. Biggie had a plate of cocaine, raw cocaine underneath his bed. His mom came to him like, "Hey, your room is dirty as hell. You had a plate of mashed potatoes underneath your bed. I had to throw them out." He said, "Mom, there wasn't no fucking mashed potatoes. She's stupid. She just don't know no better." You get what I'm saying? She don't know. And it's not no man in the house. A man, if his father was in the house, guess what? His father, she would have came to his father like, "Man, his room's so dirty, and he got these mashed potatoes." He gonna be like, "Oh, mashed potatoes, huh? Okay, no sweat. Yeah, go ahead and throw that out. I'll talk to him when he get home." And that boy, 17 years old when he would have got a thrashing that he would have never understood. You beat that, a 17-year-old, you just got to beat him up like a grown man. And he would have got his ass whooped. Listen, he got slapped by his mama. Y'all remember the movie? He got slapped by his mama. Guess what happened? Nothing. He got a little mad because he got slapped, and he went right back to selling cocaine. I'm beating your ass. You come to my crib. Listen, you get the hell up out of my household. You understand? You selling cocaine out of my house. You are threatening the livelihood of everybody in my house because you want to bring drugs into this place. But listen, he didn't have a father like that. So what are we understanding from here? We have to understand that that's not our fault. The father wasn't in that household, not because of his own will, but this was a design that was set up by that whisperer that separated chief friends, the best of friends, which is supposed to be you and your wife. These people separate you from your household, man. That's why you on child support. That's why your woman getting welfare and Section 8 housing. Go ahead.
Not to mention that's with that feminist movement, she's telling the black woman, "Oh, he's controlling you. He can't tell you what to do with your body." And then now we got 30,000 abortions a year.
Yeah, for sure.
Because white woman convinced the black woman that she can do whatever she wants with her body, even kill a baby.
Right.
Which once again, that plays into that separation, because even I went through with my kid's mom, and she get mad and want to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna just have the abortion." Like, well, then you go and give birth, give baby to me, and you can go do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah.
Why she gotta carry this thing? And this is like, you knew what it was when we laid down. Like, that's the thing. Like, people like white man thinks that you don't have to face the consequences of your actions. I'm not saying you had sex. Guess what? Babies come from sex. Mm-hmm. You gotta take care of it now. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta man up, woman up. But the white one says, "Nah, don't do that. Kick them out, get the government assistance, and you can kill your baby."
Yeah, and we gotta understand. Okay, but now see, we in here and we understand that. Like, this makes sense to us, but for so many people, it don't make sense. So why is it important that we're talking about this? We gotta bring awareness to these types of situations. A lot of people grew up in households like that. A lot of people grew up without their fathers, and then they hate their father. We always talk about this in the UPK. You hate your father, but you don't even realize why he left the household. You understand? And then on top of that, matter of fact, keep reading. Give me verse 20. Give me verse 30.
But the Proverbs 16, verse 30. He shutteth his eyes to devise froward things, moving his lips to bring evil to pass.
Right, he bringeth evil to pass, moving his lips. What is this talking about? This is talking about these bills that they bring forward, right? Joe Biden is one of the. I talked about Joe Biden a little bit earlier, right? What did he do in the 90s that everybody seems to have forgotten about?
He was part of the one that brought forth the 3-strike rule.
The 3-strike rule. Man, listen. You know what? The 3-strike rule means this. It means I could have sold some dope the first time, didn't whatever time that they gave me for that. Sold some dope the second time, didn't whatever time. I could have ran. Listen, you can get a criminal traffic charge. Let's say you do 20 over the speed limit. That's a criminal traffic charge. That's a strike, according to that 3-strike rule. You do that 3 times, you go to jail for life. For life. 25 to life with parole, with a chance of parole after 25 years. That's the 3-strike rule. You could just be a bad driver, be a shitty driver, excuse my language, and get put in jail for life. That's what we're talking about. And these people have made that to be now, of course, now they don't put that on everybody. They put that on the that law was not made for white people. It just wasn't. How many white people you know got jammed up off of the 3-strike rule? You understand? Keep reading. Matter of fact, take me to Psalms the 37th chapter.
Psalms?
Yeah, Psalm 34. Kabbalah said, with no man in the house, literally and metaphorically, we're lost. Absolutely. You understand? A man is supposed to guide that household. And so when our oppressor decides that he wants to take it upon himself to erase that man out of that household, hey, your little Dirk, he has a father. His father's still alive. Guess what? Guess where he is? In prison. You understand? And so where's Lil Durk now? Of course, he a rich, multi-millionaire. Oh, y'all know? Yeah. But like, he a rich multi-millionaire, but guess what? That brother, we got to be honest with each other, that brother ain't got no morals. I like Lil Durk's music. He real with the warfare, I understand all of that, but at the same time, you got to understand this man don't have no morals, and he's high off of perks half the time. He's a drug addict. Because his mother raised him. His father couldn't put no values in him. Why? Because his father was snatched up by the law and imprisoned over half his life, over half of Lil Durk's life. So he couldn't raise that boy. You understand? We have to look at these things and realize who our enemy is and realize that that's the reason why we're in this condition. You understand? And we have to find a way to overcome that, right? Give me, you know what? Okay, we're going to close out. Let me get, hold on 1 second. I got to do this for our rule. Give me Psalms 23. I'm sorry. I know I wanted to, Psalms 23. I wanted to get into a little bit more, but I got to read this. We got to close out, and I got to read this before we close out. We have to. So what is this thing? What is the theme of today's class? The righteous man is perished out of the earth. What do we do about that? Like, we got to have a solution. We got to have a solution. We can't just say, oh, man, there ain't no more good people. Let's lay down and die. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. We got to do something about it. Christ ain't coming back to, listen, man, this is the end. This ain't like we're coming out of the Assyrian captivity and the Lord will redeem us, and we still got multiple more captivities to go through. This is it. So the Lord ain't going to send Christ back for a bunch of negligent bastards that don't want to serve God. We have to persuade our brothers and sisters to serve God. We gotta be like this. Psalms 23 and 4. Right now,
look at Psalm chapter 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
For thou art with me, right? This is David talking. David was what? A man after the Most High's heart. Why? Because he kept the law, statutes, and commandments, right? He said he's not going to fear no evil. He's going to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. What is the valley of the shadow of death today? America. You're going to walk up and down this street and you are hunted. Y'all ever play Call of Duty? In Warzone where it say hunted and your team is being hunted? That's us in America 24/7. We are hunted 24/7. We're walking through the valley of the shadow of death right now. No place we can go that we're safe. But David understood that. He said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not going to fear no evil. Why? Because thou art with me. When the Lord is with you, who could be against you? Right? Keep going.
Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Thy rod and thy staff is what? It's talking about the Lord's protection. Listen, anybody touch the apple of his eye, he'll put them to death. He'll put you to death if you try to touch us, man. Them purple cats that tried to assault us in the Kansas City Ford, one of them cats got shot. It wasn't by us, but the Lord allowed that to happen to them. Why? Because the rod and the staff of correction, that's the Most High. And that's why we're confident. We don't give a damn about any enemy that come up against us. And we don't take vengeance upon ourselves either. Because we could go out there. We a bunch of just, without the Most High, we just a bunch of rebellious idiots. A lot of us was gang bangers, dope dealers. The UPK is a place where a lot of people can't come in here that just, we lived a terrible life. We're not church boys in here. You understand? And we could be a certain way, but we don't. Why? Because we understand that the Most High gives us the vengeance. And that's why we have to follow the way that King David thought. He said, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Keep going, verse 5.
Verse 5. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over.
My cup runneth over. What does that mean? You talking about, hey, pour me a drink, brother. I like to use this example. Pour me a drink. That drink just running over. Why? Because I have more than I need. The Lord is going to give you more than what you need. Right? That's what the Lord will do for you. Give me 1 Kings 15. We're going to close out with that. The Lord will give you everything you need plus more. But all you got to do is receive this protection. And we're going to show you how in the book of 1 Kings. And the reason why I'm reading this is because we have to understand that in order for us to persuade the Most High to send Christ back to this place, we're going to have to prove ourselves, and we're going to have to bring fruit into the school. We got to. Isaiah 58 tells us that we have to cry aloud and spare not, and show our people Jacob their transgressions, that they may repent and come into this school and learn the truth. We have to do that. That's part of our God-given authority. We must do that. We got to do it. So we have to bring people into the school. We have to save the people. If the good man is perished throughout the earth, let's resurrect them. That's what the book of Ezekiel said. We gotta raise these dry bones. Ain't no reason why it's not 1,000 people in the school right now. We should have one of these mega churches up the block. It's a mega church up the block off of 19th Avenue, and I think Thunderbird. I think it might be at the end of. I think it's Thunderbird, right? That could fit 1,000 people. We should be in that church, man. We deserve it, because them people over there, what are they doing? They're leading up. They are allowing those dry bones to stay dry. They're not bringing life back onto them. They're not bringing the sinew back onto those bones and flesh onto that sinew. They're not bringing that life together on that body. But somehow they're allowed to have that. We got to persuade the Most High. Hey, we should have that church. And we should have thousands of brothers in here saying, hey, you know what? I leave the Christian church. I leave the man that I used to be. There's what? No more good man on the earth? No more. All the good men on the earth will perish? God damn that. I can't live like that. I can't live thinking like that. I can't live feeling like we're in the time of Noah. I gotta feel like we're gonna make more men to be righteous, like the scriptures say. The scriptures say that a man shall be more precious than fine gold. Let's make that happen. Right? Give me 1 Kings 15 and 4.
15 and 4?
15 and 4.
Like, let's look at 1 Kings chapter 15, verse 4. Nevertheless, for David's sake.
For whose sake?
Nevertheless, for David's sake.
Now, we already know David's mindset. He said, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not going to fear no evil. Why? Because you're with me. Because I know the Lord is with me. Right? So for David's sake, go ahead.
Did the Lord his God give him a lamp in Jerusalem?
Give him a lamp in Jerusalem. What does a lamp represent? Light, right? And a light means what? You don't put, we noticed according to the New Testament, let your light shine before who? Before men. You don't put your lamp underneath your bed to give light to your room. You put it somewhere where it's going to illuminate the whole room. What is that an analogy of? You let everybody know, hey, this is the truth. Come in here. Come have what I got. That's why David was a man after the Most High's heart. That's why he had the protection of the rod and staff of the Most High, because he let his light so shine before men. Go ahead.
God. To set up his son after him, and to establish Jerusalem.
And he set up his son righteously under him, Solomon, to establish Jerusalem. Keep going.
Verse 5. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of the Lord.
But in order for you to raise up anybody else, you got to do what's right in the sight of the Most High. You have to. We not raising nobody up in here if we not right ourselves. Ain't nobody coming into a wicked congregation, especially when we listen. The Christian church, they get people to come into the Christian church because they pretend to be righteous, but everybody knows they wicked. What do I mean by that? You can come into the Christian church and continue to sin, and the church is going to be okay with that as long as you pay your tithes. In here, we can't tell you, hey, pay your tithes, and be righteous. If we're not being righteous, so we have to be like David. We got to be righteous in the sight of the Most High. If we want that increase, if we want Christ to come back, and that's why we got to do what David did, right? Keep going.
Okay. And turn not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite.
Now we know that David, in the matter of Uriah the Hittite, he learned his goddamn lesson, man. Because what happened with Uriah the Hittite? He committed adultery, man. His brother sinned. And the Lord was, and this is what y'all got to understand. The Lord was with David, man. The Lord was with David, and this brother made a grave mistake. He committed adultery against his brother with his brother's wife. It's an evil thing that he did. And the Most High could have put him to death, but the Most High saw so much favor in him that he spared his life, and he killed his child instead of him. Killed his baby instead of him. Why? Because he knew David was going to go on to do great things. David, listen, y'all know the reason why we wear this shield today is because of King David, a man that committed adultery. But Christ sits on the throne of David, and this shield represents the throne of Christ and the throne of David. So that's why we wear it today. So think about it. Think about who you are. Think about it. David committed adultery, and he was still able to come back to the Most High. Look at all of us today. We better make sure that we come back to the Most High. We're going to preach that from the end of the kingdom even unto the other. We're going to preach that to all of our brothers and sisters that feel like they're not good enough to come back in here. Why? Because they smoke crack? David had sex with another man's wife and got the brother murdered. Got him put to death so he could have sex with his wife. Evil as hell, man. But he was a man after the Most High's heart because he repented of that. Psalms the 55 chapter, he repented of that thing, man. We got to all be the same way. Now, once again, the good man is perished out of the earth. Micah said that. But now what do? We gotta raise these brothers up out of the dead. That's our job. If we don't do that, nobody else is. You think the IUIC raising niggas out the dead? You think GOCC raising niggas out the dead? You think all of these other wicked, disgusting Christian churches and fake Israelite camps are raising the Israelites out of the dead? They're keeping them asleep. It's our job to wake them up. It's got to be a reason for Christ to come back. He not coming back. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this. If the ISUPK wasn't around, Christ not coming back for what? The House of David camp? He coming around for them? Now, if y'all think that, they're cool. Then just, go join them. I guess maybe Christ will come back then if you join them. But we have a job to do here. We raising brothers out of the Christian church. We raising our brothers and our sisters out of all of the fallacies that we've been dealing with for time in and time out, for days in, days out, since the beginning of time. We got to raise our brothers and sisters out of the destruction that we've been put in. And we got to fight against our oppressor, who is going to try to make sure that we don't ever bring this truth out. That's their whole goal. And we have to make sure that we fight against them properly. And all we got to do is just stay on our toes, man. Stay on our toes, stay 10 toes down and do what we got to do. With that, I'm going to go ahead and close. Anybody had anything? Yeah, we're going to go ahead and close out. All right, imagine we can stand. Point out we're done. So we can turn and face the east. We're going to begin with the Lord's Prayer in the English. In the Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Rataza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayo, Nathalanawu, Lacham, Kal Yawam, Wasalakanawu, Kal Watnawu, Kashalaknawu, Kal Wathinawu, Wala'a, Walaya Nawu, Anasa 1, Ball. Hawashai now, Mayan, Raikaya, Raka, Amalagwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapara, La Walamia, in English. Our Father,
Our
which
Father,
art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done on earth,
thy will be done on
as
earth,
it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
Our daily bread.
and forgive us our debts,
And forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
Lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
The Akak, the power, and the Hebrew. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Hashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua.
Baba Kushah,
Baba Kashai.
Athalan Hakak,
Thou art
Hakak La Rapa'ah,
God,
Akal Makalu,
God,
Akal Manawa, Akal La Tahar,
God,
Amat Zarayu,
Amat Zarayu,
Akak La Kwayam,
God,
Amathiam,
Amathiam,
Our Slaki, Hakak, Our Kawa,
Arakawa,
Hatamala,
Hatamala,
Garshan,
Garshan,
Hashem Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
what I'm on,
What
in the English. Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua.
please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness,
The power to heal all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease.
all manner of
The
disease,
power to cleanse the lepers.
power against lepers,
The power to raise the dead.
power to raise the
The
dead,
power against unclean spirits.
the power against unclean spirits,
To cast them out.
to cast them
In
out.
the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahaharya.
Ahaharya.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
Azariah.
Isaiah.
Azariah.
Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Ana.
Anah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Ayashan.
Ayashan.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Shamarka,
Shamar.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Tazalka,
Tazalka.
Al-Yad,
Al-Yad.
Yanyanka,
Yanyanka.
Yamam,
Yamam.
Hashemash,
Hashemash.
La'ah,
La'ah.
Yakaka,
Yakaka.
Yarak,
Yarak.
Walayala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka.
Kal Ra,
Kal Ra.
Yashamar,
Yashamar.
Athnapashka,
Athnapashka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
Yashamar,
Yashamar.
Taza'afka,
Taza'afka.
Labah, Wa'aka,
Wa'aka.
Ma'aitha,
Ma'aitha.
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills.
Whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and
He
earth.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
He that keepeth thee will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Yasharallah
he that keepeth Yasharallah
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
All right, we're going to read Psalms, the 83rd chapter, in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim.
Al-Dama Yalaka,
Adam Yalaka,
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Thakarash,
Al-Thashakwat,
Al-Thashakwat,
All,
All,
Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Yahweh Yabdika,
Yahweh Yabdika,
Yahmaya One,
Yahmaya One,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amuka,
Al-Amuka,
Yahweh Yamwa,
Yahweh Yamwa,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Wayatha,
Wayatha,
Ya'itazawa,
Ya'itazawa,
Al-Tazapawanika,
Al-Tazapawanya,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Nakakidam,
Nakakidam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Sham Yashal,
Sham Yashal,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Slakinawa Aitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakadwa,
Alyaka,
Alyaka,
Barya,
Barya,
Yakarathwa,
Yakarathwa,
Ahalya,
Ahalya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Yashmayalia,
Yashmayalia,
Mawa'awa,
Mawa'awa,
Wagarya,
Wagarya,
Gabal, Wama One,
Wama
Wamalak,
Wamalak,
Palashah,
Palashah,
Anyashabi,
Anyashabi,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gamashawar,
Gamashawar,
Alawa,
Alawa,
Imam,
Imam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zawai,
Zawai,
Abanyalawat,
Abanyalawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha Laham,
Ashalaham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'at,
Sara'at,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyan,
Manakal,
Manakal,
Kwayashwan,
Kayashwan,
Nashamadwa,
Naftamagwa,
Ba'ayan,
Ba'ayan,
Dara,
Dara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
Arma,
Arma,
Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Nada,
Nada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Kaza'abu,
Kaza'abu,
Kazabak,
Kazabak,
Kazazal,
Kazazal,
Mana'ai,
Mana'ai,
Kal,
Kal,
Masaya Kamwa,
Masaya Kamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Leia Rashad,
Leia Rashad,
Lanawa,
Lanawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Na'awat,
Na'awat,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahayim, Shayathamwa,
Shayathamwa,
Kagalgala,
Kagalgala,
Kakwash,
Kakwash,
Lapanya Rakah,
Apanya Rakat,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Tabaira,
Tabaira,
Ya'ira,
Ya'ira,
Wakala Haba,
Mikal Haba,
Talahat,
Talahat,
Maryam,
Maryam,
Khan,
Khan,
Tharadapma,
Tharadapma,
Slaki, Basa Irika,
Masa Irika,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapathka,
Wapakat,
Wapatka, Taba Alam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Kwalawan, Webakwashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, Webahawa, Adya'i, Wekapawa, Weyabadwa, Wedaiwa, Kiyatha, Shamka, Yahweh, Badka, Ayawan, Akar. I'm going to read Psalms 83rd chapter, English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O God.
Be not still, O God.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee are lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. Let the name of Yahshua may be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarim, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. And so also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kazan, which perished that endured. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Ze'er, yea, all their princes as above, and as Amunah, who said, let us say to ourselves, the houses of Yahweh, in possession, oh my God, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded in trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame and perish. That men may know the thou. Whose name alone is Yahweh. Art the Most High of all the earth. I'm going to read the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Yahweh Shai. Walaka Allah. Wala Hayyu. Watazav Ya'ab. Allah Wap Yahana. Allah Wap Yah. Hasaranyu. Akwatazayanyu. Akaya Yayu. Wahagwati. Yahweh. Shem Yahweh Shai. What a month. All right, we're going to read that in English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you so be. Sorry while you shout him. If any brother, that's turn and be seated. If any brother would like to be anointed with oil, you can step up. Anybody else? All right, y'all know the drill. I'm going to say these prayers, and I'll point at you. You will say your name 3 times. All right. Ya Baraka Yahweh, Waya Shamarka, Ya Ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh, Alyaka, Waya Kanka, Yasha Ar Yahweh Pan Yahweh, Alyaka, Waya Shamlaka, Shalom, Yahweh, Ba Sham Yahweh Shai, Barak, Rapa, Magan, Hagan.
Yeah, what's up?
Razan. Shai, Ba Sham Yahweh Shai, the one I'm on. Clap it up. We just said in the English words, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless, heal, shield, and protect these three brothers. With that, yeah, we're gonna close out. All right, men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Rock,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barakatam.
Yadi Matah, dismissed.